Alright, let's talk to him.
I saw Mom downtown. She told me to give this to you.
Thanks.
Say, what gives around here?
Ah, you know, the usual. Keeping tabs on Hill Valley through my trusty bank of monitors. Always on the lookout for some interesting footage.
What are you looking for?
Interesting. What do you mean, interesting?
What kind of silly question is that? I've been gathering candid documentary footage for Citizen Brown's promotional videos for over a year now. I know your mother doesn't approve of my work, but wait a minute. You say you saw Lorraine? 11 to 12 hair salon, 12 to 12:20 lunch at soup mo counter, cream of asparagus with crackers.
What was that?
You know your mother's problems. If she slips up again, it could mean demerits for the whole family. There she is, polishing the statue in the park. Just like the schedule dictates. Oh, then everything's fine. Good. Unless... How was she when you spoke to her? Lucid? Sober?
Okay, so my dad's kind of creepy. This is good. Mom's a boozer.
Whoa, Dad, what are you telling me? Are you saying Mom's a drunk?
Shh. I don't know for sure that your mother has relapsed into her old ways, but she's been acting very odd lately, almost as if she didn't like my constant supervision. Confidentially, I suspect she's got a flask hidden somewhere, probably very near the spot where she's working right now. Do me a favor, son, will you? See if you can worm the truth out of her. She won't confide in me, but she may be less guarded with you. Double rations this week if you help your old man out. What do you say? That's a good boy.
Rations?
Hey, Dad, we need to talk.
Rations? Alright, what were you hiding when I came in?
What were you hiding when I came in just now?
Hiding? I don't know what you're talking about, son.
How about that big book he's got
I
there?
saw it. It was a videotape, right?
I might as well tell you. After all, you'll be 18 soon.
Tell me what?
The birds and the
Hill
bees?
Valley under Citizen Brown is not quite the contented town you were led to believe it was.
Really? You're kidding. I don't believe it. No way. I'll say I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
This isn't a criticism of the great man himself, of course, or his sainted wife, Edna. No one's worked harder than they to apply the most advanced social planning techniques to our municipality. But...
Yeah, he studied that for a
What?
script.
confidentially, not everybody appreciates it. A great many citizens, perhaps even the majority, actively resent the Brown administration. They don't say so publicly, of course. But in private, well, just listen.
Oh boy.
I tell you, Bert, this regime is a joke. They're all laughing at us over in Fairfax.
A toast to Citizen Brown at his beloved courthouse, struck by lightning.
Sure.
Agnes, you're awful. Are you coming to the town square, Lester? Citizen Brown's about to give another speech.
Citizen Brown can kiss my Harry.
Well, you get the
Ooh.
idea.
Sounds like people can't stand what the Browns have done to Hill Valley.
Not everyone. Only around 50%, maybe 60.
Does Citizen Brown know?
He should. Whenever I send copies of my raw footage to the Public Relations Department over at the courthouse, I get a memo telling me how much Citizen Brown thanks me for my service. But how could he see those videos and not do anything about it?
I think he is doing something about it.
Directly to Brown.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, sure, he might appreciate my bringing these problems to his attention and reward me for my public service, but then again, they say it's never wise to be the bearer of bad news.
Alright, ask about Mom, ask about me, ask about you. Holy crap, how many speech options do we have here? Alright, it's about someone we both know, ask about Hill Valley and its rules, what's the deal with the house, how do these monitors work? Yeah, let's go with what's the deal with the house?
What's the deal with the house, Dad?
I don't know how to tell you this, son, but while you were away at your Mathemagic competition,
What?
our house got slapped with a CZ36 violation.
What?
I know.
TPing?
So embarrassing. Your mother's mortified. She works so hard to keep a clean house, but those dust mites are so hard to keep down.
Wait a minute. We can't go into the house because of dust mites?
Well, not until they send in the cleanup crew.
This is ridiculous.
Thank goodness they let me move my office out here into the garage.
Okay, so they moved him out of the house because of dust mites? Freaking dust mites are harmless, man. What are you... Ugh, I'm not even gonna get into it. How do these monitors work?
How exactly does this setup work?
I'm glad to see you taking an interest. Each of these monitors is connected to multiple cameras, of which I've strategically jacked into throughout the valley, with official clearance, of course. I can switch between cameras with these buttons. There's also a VCR for each monitor. I keep a record of everything I see, so if I happen across something intriguing, I can keep it on file.
Very interesting and peeping Tomish. It's about someone we both know.
It's about someone we both know.
Yes?
Citizen Brown.
Have you ever spent time with Citizen Brown?
Well, of course I'm in the audience for every one of his public addresses.
One-on-one, I mean.
Oh, no. He'd never notice a common Sector L citizen like me. But I dream that someday he'll recognize me for my public service, and maybe let me shake his hand.
Well, seeing as how antiseptic this whole society is, he'd probably just drown it in hand sanitizer afterwards, so... Tell me about my brother and sister.
David and Linda.
Have you heard from them?
No, I thought maybe you had.
Not in ages. As far as I know, he's still working for the big city newspaper, and she's still in that women's boarding house. I'll never understand why they decided to leave Hill Valley.
Really? You couldn't even guess?
Have you seen Biff lately?
Not since he went to the reconditioning center. Is he back among the living?
Depends on what you mean by living. He's really different from the way I remember him.
Lucky dog. In a way, it isn't fair that Hill Valley's biggest scofflaw should be the first to receive the benefits of the new Citizens Plus program. But I know I shouldn't be jealous.
No, you shouldn't.
What can you tell me about Edna?
Mrs. Citizen Brown? Oh, she's a wonderful woman. People just think of her as this sweet, self-effacing grandmotherly type.
Uh-huh.
Edna? Are we talking about the
But
same?
really, she's just as involved in running the town as her husband is.
Different subject.
Something on your mind?
I'll take the tape to Citizen Brown.
Why don't you give me those videotapes? I'll take them to Citizen Brown.
Thanks for offering, son, but I don't want to get you involved. Citizen Brown won't like what he sees on them, and I wouldn't want you to get the brunt of his displeasure. Not to mention the displeasure of all the folks on the tapes. Once they find out I recorded them, no, I'm not letting these tapes out of my sight. It's too dangerous.
Oh, you're gonna give them to me, alright. I just need to find a way to get you to give them to me. Ask about Mom.
It's about Mom.
How did she get like this?
How'd she get to be such a mess? This isn't how she is in my perfect world.
You're right, it's a real puzzle. Because of course we both know Hill Valley is a perfect world, but for some peculiar reason, the harder I try to get her to conform to the rules, the more she slips up.
She's considering the Citizen Plus program.
She's thinking about signing up for the Citizen Plus program.
Is she now?
You're not going to let her go through with it, are you?
Well, from what I hear, it's a fairly drastic procedure which completely reshapes the subject's personality. On the other hand, if Citizen Brown recommends it, it's gotta be a good thing.
Okay, so this guy's whipped.
Don't you think Mom would be a little more relaxed if you gave her just a little bit of space?
Now, there's a fine suggestion. What would Hill Valley be like if people gave each other space? Why, we'd all be tempted to follow our own impulses, and there's no telling where that might lead.
Fun? That's a crazy idea?
Something on your mind?
Not really. Oh yeah, I really want to ask about all these 38-C policies and crap.
It's about me.
I'm all ears.
What am I like?
Well, from certain things I've heard, I get the idea that people in this town regard Marty McFly as a
what?
A nerd.
They said that?
In so many words.
Just because a boy studies hard and gets straight A's and respects the rules and doesn't party or drink or stay out late and is perhaps a bit socially inept and obsessed with personal hygiene and prefers his rubber band collection
Stop. I really don't want to hear anymore.
A rubber band collection?
I'm proud of you, son.
A rubber band collection. Wow. Me and Jennifer.
I'm trying to understand why Jennifer broke up with me in this time. Recent past.
Are you still mooning over that girl? Forget her! She's bad news. Why, my surveillance cameras have caught her doing things that are completely against the Hill Valley Code.
I don't want to know.
Kissing boys.
Really don't.
Sitting with boys in cars. I've kept quiet about it for her father's sake.